What's going on YouTube? Claykeysult here again with another unit spotlight, this time showcasing the skills of Noctis, Prince of Lucis. So we finally got Noctis, he finally came out on global, and boy is he a handful. Noctis is a unit that's going to be a physical damage dealing, full breaking, magic wielding, healing, supports. Pretty much a jack of all trades, guys. This guy is a monster, and we're going to discuss everything about him right now. Noctis comes in at a 5-star base going up to 6-star, and he's obviously going to be hard to pull, guys. He will be in the summoning pool from here on out. He's not some kind of, unit that you're not going to be able to pull later on, so that's a good thing. Let's talk about his Trust Mastery. It is called the Ring of Lucii. I think I'm saying that. Lucii, I think is what it is. You guys told me in chat. Anyway, it's a great TM giving you attack 3 and magic 3, and then giving you these abilities. We have 2 active abilities it gives you on top of giving you a passive. The first being Alterna. Alterna is a magic damage, a black magic damage spell, doing 5.1 times multiplier with 25% ignore defense, and that's huge multiplier, right guys? So it's also black magic, so it's doing massive damage on top of the fact that you can dual cast it, dual black cast it. I'm looking at you, X-Death, so this thing would be awesome. This is the ability you would want to use on a mage. Other than that, it still has an insane multiplier, so it's really strong. The next ability you get is called Death. And if you cast Death, it's inactive, so you can cast it. If you cast Death, you have 30% chance to insta-KO your target. On top of that, it's going to do 0.8 times multiplier physical damage, and you're going to heal 30% of that damage, so you have like a reap blood on it, so that's pretty cool too. So even if you miss on the death proc, you still get some health out of it, and you do a little bit of damage, which is awesome. It's a little bit, but it's still something. And then finally, I think one of the best parts about this TM, it's Holy, and this is a passive. This isn't like the Holy you would cast. It gives you these passives, 25% to negate physical damage. Just gives you that. The next one is it also gives you a 25% chance to counter with Holy. So it gives you a chance to actually use Holy on a counter. It's passive. You don't have to cast it. So you're either going to negate it 25% of the time, and the other 25% of the time you might be just countering with Holy, which is amazing. And then even that Holy, that's not all, guys. It's going to give you MP back when you cast Holy, which is insane. So pretty amazing TM. I would rate it up in the top 10 for sure. The Japanese version of the game had an even better version of this TM, giving you attack and magic 30%. Insane, right? So this TM is really, really good. I would highly suggest farming it. Moving on, his Limit Burst is amazing. One of the best in the game by far. It's going to do physical damage, 8 times multiplier. You heard that right. 8 times multiplier, single target to the opponent. So already it's really, really strong. And then it's going to increase your attack, defense, magic, and spirit of all allies for 50%. For all allies, for 50%, it's for 2 turns, it's crazy. Cecil, move out of the way, baby. We have a new top limit break. Yes, I think you should level this. Yes, I think you should stop leveling Cecil, level this if you get it. Yes, it's amazing. Top limit burst in the game by far. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff there. And you can just level it up, and it does even more. I think it goes up to 74% buffed up, and then I think the multiplier is like 11.4 or something ridiculous, which is awesome stuff. Now let's talk about the passive abilities that Noctis gets in the games. And they treated him right. They gave him this weapon mastery. It's called Power of the Kings. Essentially, you're going to get increased stats when wielding certain equipment. We'll go down the list. Daggers are going to give you attack 20% and defense 15%. That's okay. I could see if you would build like a Noctis tank build, you would maybe want to put a dagger on, maybe the poison dagger, proc poison, giving you attack 20% and the defense up. If you're wielding a sword, you're going to get attack 20% and spirit 15%. So not a great sword, but just a normal sword, you're going to get attack 20% and spirit 15%. And then here's the one I think we're mostly going to use, which is great sword, giving you attack 35%. So not only are you wielding a huge sword that has attack already buff on it, big ass damage on it, you're going to get attack 35% just for doing that. Then he has a shield proc, which I think is amazing. If he's wielding a shield, he's getting defense and spirit up by 20%. So that tank build, maybe you have a dagger and then you have a sword. I mean, excuse me, you have a dagger and then you have the shield. That way he's as tanky as possible if you need to use him as a tank. Then he has throwing weapons. I think this is more for his like hybrid build. I wouldn't suggest this one at all. Magic and spirit 20%. It's okay, but again, I think we need to focus on him as a physical damage dealing unit. Katana, this is the other one that's going to go hand in hand with Greatsword. If you do happen to dual wield this guy, attack and magic 20%. Remember, Noctis is going to, we're going to talk about it in a minute though, but Noctis has hybrid abilities which take your attack and magic into account, and the Katana is adding attack and magic 20%. Really, really great stuff there. And then if you just want to wield a gun, he has gun mastery too, if you can believe it. Magic and defense 20%. Pretty awesome stuff. Moving on, he has parry, which is a 20% chance to negate physical damage taken altogether, which is awesome. Survivability, we like that. And then he has this other ability, which goes on top of the parry, Damage Warp. 30% chance to counter physical attacks and then heal himself for a bit of that damage. Insane, guys. So not only is he parrying 20% of the time, just not taking physical damage, he can damage warp 30% of the time and just attack back and then heal himself for it. What is there not to like, guys? What is there not to like? Moving on, we're going to talk about his attacks now. His attack abilities, he has a plethora of them, and they're all awesome. The first one we're going to cover is Link. He's going to do physical damage, 1 times multiplier, not that much damage, but he's still doing something, single target, and he's going to increase the attack and magic 30% to all allies. So, you're going to be able to still do damage, and also increase your whole party's attack and magic by 30%. That's bonkers for this physical damage unit, right? So, you're not just taking a turn off, you're actually still doing damage, albeit kind of small. You're still crushing, you're buffing, you're doing damage, insane stuff. Next ability we'll talk about is Point Warp. Now, if you guys have ever played Final Fantasy 15, this ability is based off of when you would throw your weapon up and he would jump to it and he'd be hanging there and you'd be regaining HP and MP. The exact ability here. Physical damage, 3 times multiplier, single target. He's going to jump in the air before he does it, and as he jumps in the air, he's going to recover HP and MP to himself. So this way, if you are running low on HP or running low on MP, and you need to dodge a boss ability, let's say, remember how you guys worked with Cain. Let's say the big boss is coming and you're kind of low on HP and MP, a big hit is coming. Well, you jump in the air, boss does his hit, you come down, do 3 times multiplier physical damage to him, and then you recover your HP and MP on the way up. So it's a 2-for-1. Also, guys, with dual wield, this does not recover your HP and MP twice. However, it will go up in the air and recover his HP and MP, and when it comes down, it will hit twice. That's how it works with dual wield. Let's talk about his next ability, hybrid damage, elemental damage. He has 3 of them in fire, blizzard, and lightning, and they each do AoE damage. Pun, also additive, is a great effect that he's going to do with these skills, so we'll go over each one individually. Fire Flask is going to do fire hybrid damage. I think it's a 4 times multiplier to all enemies, along with having a 30% chance to make random 2 status elements on them. So, at 30% chance to everyone after doing damage, he might put 2 random status elements on them at 30% chance. Insane, right? Bonkers for the arena. These abilities are very good in the arena. Blizzard, the Blizzard Flask, is going to do 4 times multiplier, blizzard damage, ice damage, and then he has a 30% chance to stop everyone. So it's going to like freeze them all up. Insane, insane, right, guys? Then we have the final one, the Lightning Flask. Lightning hybrid damage, 4 times multiplier to everyone, and then he's going to knock down their defense and spirit by 30%. Boom, a breaker right there. So if you don't have a full breaker, or you're sick of having like these, I don't know, Agris is pretty good, but these other like in the meta breakers along with your Cecil, you don't want Warrior of Light and Cecil on the same team right now. This guy is going to be able to do the breaking for you, and this is one of the abilities. These 3 abilities are amazing. The hybrid damage does make them a little less damage dealing because hybrid is weird, but at the same time, you can't pass up on doing elemental damage to chain with and having these status elements on him. Amazing, amazing stuff. And finally, let's discuss his big hitting move. Everyone has one. It is called Warp Break. And essentially what's going to happen is he's going to do physical damage 2.5 times, single target. He's going to ignore the defense 40%. And guys, remember, the way ignore defense works is it does not matter who you're fighting. It does not matter if you're fighting a Chocobo or fighting the Rock Titan, man. It does not matter. It is just going to be a flat multiplier increase to your move. So it really should just read like physical damage, what is it, like 3 or 4.2 times single target. That's the way I understand it. Again, if I'm somehow doing this now, if I'm somehow messing this up now, even after I've done research and talked to several people, please let me know in the comments, because I want to know how the stupid ignore defense stuff works. Anyway, so it's going to do a bunch of damage, physical single target damage, okay? And then it's going to decrease the attack and defense by 30% for 3 turns, guys. So another break here. So the other one was defense and spirit by 30% AoE. This one's single, attack and defense 30%. Okay, so it's not full break, and you don't get all 3 in one move. However, this thing's going to hit hard, and then it's going to decrease their attack and defense. So amazing, amazing stuff here from Noctis. Very, very strong for bosses, things like that. Again, he can fill your limit, not your limit burst, excuse me, your full break unit that you need him to be, and that's what he can do. Let's talk about Noctis' support abilities. The first one up is Fish. I guess that means like in the game where he's fishing. I don't know how that provokes. Maybe somebody can help me in the comments. Increased chance of being targeted 100% for 1 turn. So if you need Noctis to take a hit for you on 1 turn, bam, 100%, he's getting smacked in the face. So you can use Fish for that. Also, that tank build we talked about, that can be used in the future. When I go over my builds here, I'm not going to be going over a tank build. I'm going to be going over the 2 best builds for free to play and pay to play. I think there are for Noctis. If you want to go go into builds like that more in detail, check out Tech Maki, my boy Tech Maki. He's going to have a Noctis build and other unit spotlights, and he'll go into more builds and give you more examples of things you could be doing with your characters. Moving on, another great ability he has is Cover. It's going to heal HP and MP over 3 turns to all, but it doesn't do it immediately. Like, you cast it and it doesn't happen. It's like a buff it puts on them, and then when the turn ends, it'll boost them up, and it is a lot, guys. It is a lot. It's amazing. So this is like from the video game when they're hunked over and they're hurting. You come tapping them on the back and they wake up and they start reviving their HP and MP. It's pretty good stuff. And this ability in itself is pretty cool. It's called Warp Decoy. It's going to negate any physical damage taken 3 times to the caster. So when you cast this on yourself, at any point you would take physical damage 3 times, it's like strikes. It'll stay on you. 1, 2, 3, and then you're out, and then the buff goes away. But let's say you just take it once. Couple turns go by, twice, it's still on you for this whole entire time. It's on you until you're dead, or, you know, the Warp Decoy goes off. And it looks awesome, as you guys can see. It's a pretty cool move. And then finally, if all of this stuff wasn't enough, he has Comeback, where he's just going to revive an ally 100% HP. Seriously, he got that ability. He can just revive anybody he wants. Crazy, right? Just crazy stuff, dude. Crazy stuff. So here's our free-to-play example build. Remember, guys, I'm trying to do my best to build a good free-to-play obtainable build for you guys who maybe don't have a bunch of TMs to use. If you look above me, Noctis's stats have changed. They're going by this build and also going by Ifrit, and they're going by my Ifrit stats. So 2-star Ifrit maxed out and using my nodes. So that's the way the stats are going to be used here, guys. Okay, so in his right hand, we're going to go with Blood Sword. You can get that from the Colosseum. It's a recipe. You have to beat the Colosseum all the way through advanced, but you're going to be able to get this, and it is good because it's the best, I think, the most attack greatsword in the game right now for free-to-play players, and it's going to proc his, you know, his 35% upgrade from his, you know, his Weapon Master passive. So that's why we're using a Blood Sword here, and then we're going to put a shield on, obviously. We're going to use Force Shield. You get that from the Fat Chocobo. Very, very good shield if you don't want to spend the Star Quartz on this. Obviously, just put another shield on him. This is going to proc his other Weapon Mastery for shields. Then we're going to use the Tiger Mask, Black Belt Gi, Double Hero Ring. You guys are probably sick of hearing this. All that stuff's craftable, and that's what's going to make him really shine. That's the best I think we could put on right now for a physical damage dealer. Moving on, his abilities he's going to use are all attack 10%, all craftable. You get the recipe out of a silver chest, and that's going to be it, guys. That's how I would build him as a free-to-play, and I think that's very optimal. Obviously, you can switch it around, put a different sword in his hand if you don't have the Blood Sword yet, but the Great Sword's going to give him the most attack, and that's why I went with it. Now, moving on to the pay-to-win players out there. This, I think, is the best in slot. Again, I've been messing up on these champion spotlights left and right, but obviously, equipment's going to change, and so, if, you know, obviously comment down below if the equipment's changed or you think there's a better build. I like to learn just like everybody else. But here we go, pay-to-play example build. Right hand, Excalibur from Cecil TM. We're going to use this to proc his Great Sword passive. Then we're going to have in the left hand, we're going to have Sakura Fubuki, the best katana in the game from the Miyuki TM. That's going to proc his katana passive, along with procking the Blade Mastery we have in the materia here. Then we have the Black Cow from Hayate, best in slot for head. Brave Suit, best in slot for chest. That's from Ramza. Then we're going to use the Genji Gloves because this opens us up a materia slot, and that's from the Gilgamesh TM. And then we're going to use Celestial Gloves, the Luna TM. The reason we're using this is because it has magic on it, and that's what we want. We want magic and attack, and that's what it gives us. So that's why we're going with Celestial Gloves from Luna. Now, talking about the abilities, we want to use Power of Creation from Maxwell TM. This is going to give us attack and magic 30%. Great for a hybrid build, just in case you want to use those hybrid abilities. Also, we would just want the attack 30% anyway, and the magic is just a plus on there. Then we're going to use Blade Mastery from the Chizuru TM in order to make sure that we have our katanas procking, giving us 50% attack buff off of our base attack, obviously, to our attack stat, making us even more strong. Scylla Destruction, the Carl TM. The reason we're going with this is it also provides us a magic boost, which we want because this is the way Noctis works. You know, he has some hybrid ability. The more magic we can get on him while stacking all the attack we can is awesome. And finally, guys, we're going to talk about Espers here. We're going to be using Ifrit because he gives us the most attack stat. He does give us a little bit of magic, and it's okay. If you want to use Diablos, maybe you want to use Ifrit on somebody else, Diablos is a fine pick too, due to the fact that he has killer passives, and he has a little bit of magic and attack on him, which are great for our boy here, Noctis. You know, that's the end of the video, guys. This has been a unit spotlight. I tried my best to make this better, improve. I've been getting so much feedback, and I thought I might need to change it up. Noctis is the best unit in Global right now. Obviously, there will be things released in the future. People are asking me, is he better than Orlando? I don't think so. As far as being, like, I think he's a better character overall, But like physical damage wise, nah, Orlando will still be better than him, probably dealing more damage for sure. But I mean, this character can do it all, guys. Raise, heal, you know, debuff, full break, just all kinds of stuff, guys. He can even provoke, things like that. Pretty good stuff there, and I'm really excited, and I hope you guys pull him, or at least just enjoy him on your friends list or something like that. If this video helped you out, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below how you feel about Noctis, and if I made any mistakes in this video again, and subscribe for future content and unit spotlights. We'll see you guys later. Holy, and do damage back, so like if somebody hits you and you have this ring on, you're just gonna cast Holy back at a certain percent chance. So great TM. In the Japanese version, obviously we knew Noctis would be better, and in the Japanese version, that ring literally has plus attacks 30% and magic by 30%. So like, that ring is super OP in JP, and I don't know how they're gonna change our Noctis to match up to the Noctis of the JP version when we get that far in the game. So just look forward to that. This